Hi guys, one of the videos here, back again for another video on the channel. And this one today then, a little bit different. Of course, the season, as recording, is 30 days away until the Championship season starts. So this summer has flown by and I can't wait for Championship football to return. But in this one then, with the power of AI these days, everything is AI, computer controlled. I thought we'd test their knowledge on the Championship. So I have asked ChatGPT, which I'm sure everyone knows what that is, their table predictions for the 2025-2026 Championship table predictions. Now, I've got to admit, it's actually not too bad. Now, the reasoning is pretty horrific. So when I do explain why they've positioned that team in that position, take with a pinch of salt, because some of this is very, very poor knowledge. But overall, I think they've done a decent job. So if you do enjoy this different type of video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. We've got so much content coming up for you guys. And of course, when the Swans announce new signings, there's a bit of transfer news, there will be more transfer-related videos. But as the Swans are heading into pre-season and the transfer news is slowly dying a little bit until we know what else we need in the transfer market, I thought I'd do something a bit different. And of course, repping the Nigeria jersey, something different. And, but yeah, let's get into it. So in 24th position then, AI have put Wrexham. So they've predicted Wrexham to finish rock bottom of the Championship. Not a real surprise, really. Obviously, Wrexham, 4 or 5 years ago, were in non-league, so it's absolutely remarkable how they're even one division away from the Premier League. But AI's reason for putting Wrexham bottom is that the Championship is too big of a jump. Pretty simplistic from AI, nice, short and sweet. Obviously, I'll give my two predictions later, closer on to when the season starts, so a bit later on. Obviously not in today's video, but yeah, AI predicted Wrexham to come bottom. In 23rd then, a little bit of a different one. They've gone for Sheffield Wednesday. Now the reason for this is actually quite smart from AI, and it's something everyone knows if you follow the Championship. Now, the reason they've put the Sheffield Wednesday in 23rd is the financial instability and the managerial uncertainty. Now, as we're recording, Daniel's still in charge. Now, God knows how many jobs this bloke has applied for and not got. It's just remarkable. He is still in charge of Sheffield Wednesday. And Sheffield Wednesday players, as time of recording, have still not been paid their previous month's wages. So, yeah, it could be a long, long season for Sheffield Wednesday. We all know how Chansiri likes to act and how, unsustainable he is as an owner. So it wouldn't surprise if Sheffield Wednesday to get a points deduction this season, or the manager leaves at some point this season, players leave. They've not a great pre-season at all, and I think they will be one of the favourites to go down. 22nd then, AI, their last team to go down is Oxford United. Now the reasoning for this is a little bit harsh. Simply, smaller stadium and smallest budget. Now, I did have to check fact that, because obviously Wrexham in the league, and according to Google, Wrexham have 100 more seats than Oxford United. Not sure how accurate that is, but, we're going to believe AI in this case. But yeah, Oxford obviously had a decent season last season. Obviously, Des Buckingham went halfway through the season, and they brought in Gary Rowett, who obviously is a very good Championship manager. He does what's needed of him, and, I think Oxford may be all right this season, but I predict them to go down. Now, just avoiding the drop, according to AI, 21st, they've gone for newly promoted Charlton Athletic. Now, the reason for this is that squad depth could be exposed. Now, I haven't seen too much of Charlton's business. I have seen they've got Kaminsky and Reece Burke, both from Luton Town. So obviously Nathan Jones using his prior Luton Town connections there, getting some players who obviously used to play not under him, but for his former team. But yeah, I think Kaminsky's a very solid goalkeeper. Obviously, he did get relegated with Luton, but, in the Premier League, he was very good. But yeah, Charlton, I think, will be thereabouts near the drop zone this season. 20th then, they've gone for Hull City. Bit of a surprising one, I guess. Obviously, Hull have got some very, very good players indeed. But the reason for this is they are now hovering above danger without investment. Obviously, Hull have got a transfer ban at the moment. They are going to try and appeal that and get that rescinded. Obviously, there was big talks about McBurney joining them, Louis Barry, but obviously with this transfer thing looming over their head, free agents may not even be wanting to go to Hull at the moment. Obviously, Hull have had a lot of money put into them. That decision to get rid of Rosenior, though, keeps coming biting them on the backside, because, yeah, since he's gone, it's just been a bit of a hellhole, really. 19th then, they've gone for a new manager, Queen's Park Rangers, and the reason for this is that Julian Stefan's tactics may take time. breaking news, water's wet. Some of the reason for this is ridiculous, isn't it? New managers' tactics will take time. Cheers, Jeff. Of course it's going to take time. Unless you're Stevie Wonder, who can play the piano without his eyes open, then, I don't think Julian Stefan can instantly go to QPR and make him tick like that. Very hard. You're not Guardiola, and you're in the Championship for a reason. But yeah, QPR, they're signing of Queen Park, who's absolutely ridiculous. He should do good numbers this season, QPR. But yeah, QPR 19th. It'll be a tricky one to predict where they come this season. 18th then, they've gone for Preston North End. Now the reasoning for this, is just really, really harsh, but it is kind of accurate. Now the reasoning for this is consistently average, could get into a relegation fight. Now last season, Preston, towards February, they're only 3 points off the playoffs, and then come down to the last day of the season, they could have gone down if results didn't go their way, which was a bit crazy. But yeah, their home form last season was extremely good. I expect them to have very good home form again this year. 17th then, they've gone for Portsmouth, and the reasoning is could make a push, but unlikely. Again, very simplistic. This AI does not mess about. He just says it as it is. But yeah, Portsmouth, obviously, last season was just about staying in the league. Obviously, yeah, have had a few poor years prior to that. Obviously, trying to get out of League One and obviously League Two before that. But obviously, they got back into the Championship, had a pretty solid season. Took them a little bit of a while to get going. But when they found their form, especially in the Fratton Park, it was a hard place to go, as they did have some very good results against good teams like Leeds United, beating them on Fratton Park. 16th then, I think this is very harsh, but they've gone for West Bromwich Albion. Now, the reasoning is that Ryan Mason is unproven, but they do have the tools to push higher. Now, I did see they've signed a Scandinavian striker for a couple of £1 million. He's got a good goal-scoring record over in Scandinavia. Obviously, Ryan Mason, yes, very unproven, but he has been a coach for a number of years now, so it's not like he's just coming straight in not knowing what to do. He's got his badges, he's been around some top quality coaches. I think West Brom will do alright this season. I think 16th's very, very harsh. 15th then, they've gone for Watford. Now, I should have really asked how many Watford managers will be sacked this season. They got rid of Cleverley, ridiculous decision. I got to be honest, I don't even know the new Watford manager's name. What's the point of knowing? He'll be sacked in 2 months' time. They've gone Watford 15th, and they've gone very ambitious owners. I think that is very accurate, because they'd sack their manager if they don't go up. And even if they go up, they'll probably get sacked anyway. Watford, I don't know if you could support them, man. If I supported Watford, the amount of money I'd probably be making from sacking videos would be immense. But hey, who knows what Watford can do this season. 14th then, they've gone for Stoke City. Reasoning, experienced Championship club. Stoke and Swansea both been in the Championship for the same number of years since we've both got relegated. Swansea have had a lot better times than Stoke in the Championship. Stoke just seemed to struggle season upon season, but never really seemed to be in that dogfight until last season. Now, if they have a worse season than they did last season, they could go down. But of course, they're going to try to do a bit better. I haven't seen too much of their business yet, but I think Stoke have enough quality to not go down. 13th then, how dare you? They've put Swansea City. And the reason for this just couldn't not be more inaccurate. And I quote, a yo-yo club too strong for relegation. Now, the yo-yo club's ridiculous. How can we be a yo-yo club but then Stoke be called an experienced Championship club when we've been in the Championship the same amount of time as Stoke? If we're a yo-yo club, we would have gone up 2 years ago and just come back down. What are they on about? In terms of too strong for relegation, I do agree. We saw that last season, struggling under Luke Williams. New manager comes in, caretaker manager, and we just start winning games of fun. We do have a bit too much quality for relegation. In terms of promotion, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the summer signings have been good so far on paper, but of course, paper and grass, two different materials, two different things, and sometimes they may not click. So, bang mid-table then, we're on to 12th, Derby County. Reasoning is that they've rebuilt, they stayed up last year, and eye instability, which I agree with. The majority of Derby signings this summer so far under John Eustace have been experienced former players. Andreas Weimann, I think they've been linked with some of the former Blackburn players as well. But yeah, I think Derby, they'll have the experience against, some of the quicker teams in the league. They may struggle, especially away from home. 11th place, I think they've predicted this as a bit of an underdog. Norwich City in 11th, I think that's very harsh. They usually get top half. New manager, got playoffs last season. Of course, Liam Manning now in charge. Been quite impressed with their business. Harry Darling's a very, very good signing at Championship level. Bohas signs is on his way to Porto at the time of recording, again around about £15 million for him. So fantastic business for Norwich, considering he had a really poor second half of the season last season. Also, they've got Josh Sargent there. They've got some very good players in the midfield as well. Obviously did lose Angus Gunn as well, which isn't really too much of a blow. He's been hot and cold for a number of years now. But I think Norwich can really have a successful season this year. Into the top 10, 10th place, AI have put Millwall. Alex Neil's Millwall near playoff misses over the last couple of years. Obviously missed on the playoffs on the final day last season. But yeah, Alex Neil has strong leadership, which I agree with. Every club he's tended to be at, he's done well. Obviously Sunderland did really well with them. Stoke obviously got sacked after a few months, but not Millwall, he's done pretty good. And then he said Norwich there, of course, another one of his former clubs. But yeah, Millwall in 10th probably will happen. 9th place then, Bristol City, solid mid-table team with potential. Now, they did get into the playoffs last season where they did get a little bit embarrassed by Sheffield United. What was it, 7-0 in aggregate? I think it's the biggest deficit of any team in Championship history, which a little bit embarrassing. They did get in there on the final day, drawing the Blackburn Rovers at home, or was that 2-2, I think it was. But yeah, Bristol City could have a decent season, but they have lost their manager. 8th place then, Blackburn Rovers. They have a tactical style that keeps them competitive, which I agree with. Vladimir Ismail, we all know what he's about at Championship level. Since his Barnsley days, was at West Brom, didn't do very well there. Obviously struggled really early on at Blackburn, didn't win in the first, 4 or 5 games, but turned it around towards the end of the season and had Blackburn nearly getting into the playoffs, which was just crazy. In 7th place then, just missing out on the playoffs, we've got Middlesbrough. Consistently get top half, have some Premier League quality, which I agree with. They do have some very good players amongst the ranks at Borough now. The main concern for Borough for me is probably the new manager, Rob Edwards. Obviously, Championship last season at Luton, horrific. Season before, did very well. But now, Rob Edwards will get his chance to really put his style of play on that Borough squad. Obviously, Carrick was there for a number of years, in and around the playoffs, but never could get into the playoffs. But yeah, Borough in 7th. Into the top 6 then. So let's see who AI have got in 6th. They've gone for Coventry City. Reasoning, under Frank Lampard, they got playoffs last season and they are ready to carry momentum to get another playoff campaign push, which I agree with. Coventry have some very good players. Hadji Wright, when fit, is one of the best attackers in this league. Ellis Sims wasn't that great under Frank Lampard last season, but has proved at Championship level before he can score goals. Matt Grimes, of course, not going to talk too much about him, as I'm pretty sure you guys don't really want to hear the Matt Grimes praise train, but obviously he's very good, and they have signed Kesler Hayden as well. Former Preston right back, obviously signed from Villa. Very, very good right back. And obviously they've got Milan van Erwijk as well. So 2 very, very good wing backs there on the right hand side. 5th place then, they've put the League One champions Birmingham City. Now, God knows where Birmingham are going to finish this season. They could flop massively, or they could do what everyone probably will think and get at least top 10. But yeah, they've gone for 5th for Birmingham, League One champion, real momentum at the moment and strong squad. Now, Birmingham's last signing, what was it, a £10 million signing, former Celtic winger and former Rennes winger, Furiashi, I think that's how you say his name. £10 million on a player who didn't score a single goal for Rennes, but he only played 6 games to be fair. But at Celtic, he was flying. Obviously in goals, they got that former Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper Beadle. Not sure on him. Yes, very young goalkeeper, but was very mistake prone last season and did get dropped towards the end of the season at Hillsborough under Sheffield Wednesday. But yeah, Birmingham 5th, crazy. Who knows where they'll finish. Into the top 4 then, they've got for Sheffield United in 4th position. Missed out last season, losing on the playoff final day thanks to a Kiefer Moore mistake. New man in charge, of course, Ruben Selles. Bit of a surprise, got sacked by Hull, but then gets a job at Sheffield United. Don't really see how that one works out. But he is a man who has got his praise and has got a lot of credentials after what the job he did at Reading. Obviously was at Southampton for a period of time as well. As an assistant manager or, caretaker manager as well. But yeah, Sheffield United in 4th. Top 3 then, no real surprise that AI have predicted the 3 relegation teams to finish in the top 3, but who is missing out on automatic promotion? Dramatic roll, please, of the drum. They've gone for Leicester City in 3rd. They potentially will have a point deduction this season. We don't know when we'll find that out, but of course last time in the Championship they did escape it, but then they had new charges brought against them. But obviously with them being in the Premier League, EFL couldn't do nothing, and I bet they were licking their lips when they saw Leicester were relegated. But yeah, they do have a lot of experience in that squad. Obviously still waiting on the confirmation of Marty Cifuentes being the new Leicester City manager. Again, how was he upgraded so big from QPR to Leicester? Did a decent job at QPR, but being a Leicester manager, I'm not sure. Obviously, he had Gary O'Neill and Chris Wells sniffing sniffing that potential job as well. But it looks like they will pick Cifuentes. Top 2. Second place, they've gone for Southampton. Stable squad and have a good attacking depth. And of course, Will Still is the new Southampton manager. I think it's pretty certain Southampton are going to go up this season. Pretty boring, but their squad is ridiculous. And, you know, even the players they will lose, they just bought a player in for over £6 million, which half the Championship can't even do. So yeah, Southampton probably will go up again this season, and we'll see him in 2 years' time. So in first then, they've gone for Ipswich Town. Strong squad, strong coach, and good vibes in the dressing room, which I think is always great. So don't know why they're saying vibes. If you're AI, a little bit cringe, but Ipswich first. Now with Ipswich, it's a bit of a weird one. Obviously on paper, arguably do have the best squad in the Championship, but it's their first season back in the Premier League after a long time. And we saw what Luton, that was their first time in the Premier League, I think ever since it was renamed the Premier League. And, you know, they flopped massive and got relegated. I'm not saying Ipswich will do a Luton, but when you get that high of going straight up, it's really hard to get back down, because a lot of those players may think, oh, I'm too good for this league, like some of the Luton players for, and then they found out way too late, and look what happened. So yeah, Ipswich, this is my prediction video. I probably want to have them first. I think they could flop massively, but AI have predicted Ipswich to go up as champions. But anyway, guys, let me know if you did enjoy. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. Like I said, I've got a lot of different videos coming out for you guys. I thought I just have to keep up the content at the moment. Really enjoying YouTube videos. Like I said, please subscribe. We are closing on 6,000 subscribers, so that'll be great to achieve as soon as possible. And yeah, if you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm not asking you guys for your predictions yet. Way too early for that, as there's still a lot of transfer business to be done. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you very much, AI, for your predictions. We'll compare the AI predictions to my predictions at the end of the season, see how many we get right compared against each other. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you all later, and please do like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
I need one more chance. Oh, baby, let me show you. I need one more chance. Oh.